Hello, everyone, and coming to you live from the super secret bunker beneath the blue blinking light outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's another exciting episode of PAPAtv Live. We're here tonight getting ready to celebrate the Independence Day in the United States, which was Thursday. So we'll be playing 3 Independence Day themed EMs, which should be challenging for our players tonight. I'm Pete Hendricks, joined by Elizabeth Cromwell, and first time on PAPAtv, Rob Sneed.
Hello.
How are you two doing this evening?
Doing good. I want to say at the top here, happy birthday, Rob.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Are you as old as America?
I am not that old yet, no. But thank you. Thank you.
So, like I said, we'll be doing 3 EMs tonight, something a little different. EMs is a whole different skill set that is involved, a lot more nudging, a lot less rules knowledge. So we'll see how our players handle the games. Our first one tonight is going to be Williams Liberty Bell. This is a 1977 EM from Williams, a Steve Kordick design, and stepping up to play, it'll be Tia. How are you doing tonight, Tia?
I'm doing great, Pete. How are you?
Good. Well, last week we saw your tap passing expertise. Will you be able to do stuff like that on an EM?
She did it on an EM. There was
oh yeah, it was Captain Fantastic, right?
The Williams flippers are a little different, but we can give it a shot.
How are they different?
They're definitely not as easy to tap pass with, in my opinion.
The nice thing about this game is there really isn't a need to tap pass. This game is very symmetrical. You have a scoop up at the top that builds up value as you spell B-E and L-L. You also have this scoop here, which increases in value if you knock down B and E or L and L. You also have the EM spinner. I guess you could tap pass because there's one spinner that will always be lit. And then you have 2 scoops here, which will score double bonus from time to time.
I know.
Speaking of tap passing, one thing I did notice about this game is that trapping up the ball due to the way that the slingshots are there at the bottom, that's a bit of a challenge in itself.
Decent ball by Tia. Now stepping up is James Emanuel. How are you doing tonight, James?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. That was a nice long ball on Liberty Bell.
Like a lot of the EMs in this time, the biggest thing to do is build up your bonus, so tilting is very dangerous. Well, tilting's always dangerous, but... Now you see there, the ball bounced around the pop bumpers and hit the B and E and increased his value, but he never got a chance to score it again. EMs can be frustrating in that you may never get a chance to actually flip.
That describes every warm-up game I had tonight. So.
These will be the great equalizer in Pinburg banks.
That's true. They are a great equalizer because Replay Foundation actually has a lot of EMs that a lot of people haven't played before or seen before. So you can go toe-to-toe with one of the best players in the world on an EM because the skills are the same. The skills are the same between a modern and an EM. But just knowing the geometry, where you need to hit, what is going to help build up your bonus, and resisting that urge to shake hard enough to tilt.
I'm a big fan of EMs. I've come to find the best part about them is there's a lot there's a lot more to than just control. Yes, you need control, but you got to have shot accuracy.
Yes.
And sometimes it feels like it's on a high part of a flipper or a low part of a flipper, but if you get in tune with the game, you can do well with it.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I find a lot of the EMs is it's not a lot of control. It's just don't make a mistake. They, with the way the flippers are designed, it's really easy to flub a catch. And
Those, yeah, it's so easy to just accidentally hit an outlane when you were trying to do a catch that on a modern stern would totally be a catch, but on this, it just doesn't roll that way. The thing about EMs that people find really, really different, I think, is that you don't need, as Pete was saying, you don't need a lot of games knowledge. You don't need a lot of, I want to do this and then stack this and then get this mode and then do this other thing, because a lot of it is you can do everything at the same time. You can do them one by one. There isn't as in-depth of a rule set.
It's one of the rare times where you can actually read the rules cards and get the whole game.
It'll make sense, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I love EMs, actually. I am not somebody who wants to know all of the rules to your modern sterns. I don't want to know how to stack on top and top and top. I just kind of want to play the game, see how it feels. So how's the game feeling over there, James?
It feels fast to me.
Well, these,
You know,
go ahead.
I really like to feel out the nudges and the bounces on all the different surfaces on a older game like this. You know, it's not all about just how it touches the flippers. It's about each different rubber.
That's a really good point, and also the play field can be different because these machines are so old. In a lot of cases, they've worn down a little bit, and your star rollovers might stick up a little bit more than you might be used to on a modern game, or
The inserts are a big thing, too.
the inserts. Yep.
They'll have a little divot in them. Sometimes the ball will roll weird through them, but it's just the nature of the game.
At one of our Fight Club tests, I had a player come up to me and go, "You may want to have the techs take a look at the inserts around the flipper. This is just really hard with the sunken inserts there." And I didn't pass on that message.
The best EM that Papa has in its inventory is Fairy. Which, if you've never played Papa's Fairy, I would urge you at Replay FX to seek it out on the free play side of the floor and give it a play, because it has a special feature, which is a concave play field that it's not supposed to have, but, you know, time.
If you ever been to Pinball Perfection, they have a solid state game that had a prototype play field that was similar to that. It was concave. Game's slipping my mind which one it is, but the first time you played it and you watch your ball start to the right and then curve back to the left, it's like, wow, that's really crazy.
I once watched Keith Owen try to trap up on our Fairy, and because of the way that it's concave, you can't. The ball will just constantly roll towards the tip of the flipper, and it took him several seconds to figure out what was going on.
Right. Give me some bell.
So what are the objectives here again, Pete? We didn't have the telestrator on the internets before, and for that I apologize. There was a problem. So point us at what we're shooting for.
All right. There are 4 targets here, BE and LL. If you hit either BE or LL, that will increase the value of this scoop up here. It also leads you towards double bonus, letting double bonus here or here. And if we had extra balls turned on, that would lead you towards getting extra balls.
So James just did a really smart thing, which was that he raised his hands away as he was draining. Instead of trying to shake and save it, like you might nudge it in a more modern game, he recognized that all of his points are going to come from his bonus, and it would be more dangerous to try to save that ball than to just let it drain.
Now on this one, it's less.
Sideways motion.
Later on, we'll have games where the plunge is so important. And even on this one, too, a good plunge will get you 500 points, and it'll increase your bonus 10,000. Or 1,000.
So
Nice.
anybody know what a good score is on this game?
You got to roll it. That's the only thing you ever do on an EM. You have to roll it.
And when he says roll it, he means getting the score reels to turn over, in this case to 1,000,000, not getting upset and turning it on its side. All right. James puts up a very nice score there, 489, 170. Tia with 363.070. We got 2 more players that'll be coming up here, and see if they can beat those scores. But first, we'll go to our first advertisement of the night, an ad for Comet Pinball.
Comet Pinball has the largest selection of lighting products for your pinball machines. LEDs can brighten up your game while reducing heat and power consumption. Whether you're a collector, operator, restorer, or mod maker, you'll always find low prices, fast shipping, and great service with Comet Pinball. Come check them out at facebook.com/cometpinball, twitter.com/cometpinball, instagram.com/cometpinball.
Thank you very much, Rob. And now stepping up to the games, first time on Papa TV, we have Jeff Nieport.
Howdy.
Jeff, not Chris Stevens, Newport.
So before you plunge, you want to tell that story real quick?
Well, I seem to get confused with him quite a bit, in and out of state, so...
I mean, you two look exactly alike.
I wouldn't say exactly alike, but maybe I could steal some of his pinball skills.
You look alike, you sound alike.
The confusion definitely comes from appearance primarily.
I think it's just that we wear a hat and we have a beard.
Jeff is a local contractor and who has a nice collection. First he bought one, then he bought another, then he completely tore his house apart and bought 17 or 18 more. And after doing that, we hired him to do our game room, and we actually let him come out today to play.
I appreciate it. It was nice outside.
But
Nice, nice.
That was a very nice nudge.
So you do have to learn to nudge on EMs. You can't shake.
No,
You have to
no
be
shaking.
gentle.
But that's what I was talking about there. Sometimes it's just not making a mistake. That flip wasn't the best, and it resulted in a drain.
We've got a good question in the chat here, in the YouTube chat, which is, what does EM stand for? Asks Michael Lalonde.
It stands for electromechanical. There are basically 3 types of games. The electromechanical, or the old ones, where the game is all electronic components. When we do, I believe, Spirit of 76, we'll see a little bit of that. Then came the solid states. Those were the first ones with scoring digits, scoring displays, and
nice.
computers. And then,
And then
then
the
modern DMDs.
So the way that you can tell the machines apart is by their scoring mechanism. So you'll see on Liberty Bell here, it has a mechanical score reel that literally has a reel in the back that flips the numbers and tallies up your score. That's an electromechanical. A solid state has a digital display, what we would consider like an old school digital. And then the modern DMDs or LCDs have the more modern interface that you're used to seeing.
I guess the most important thing about EMs, especially when it comes to Pinburg, is to note that they are all 5-ball.
That is correct.
So if you step up to a machine, you see that the score reel is a tally or a ticker, you should know that this is a 5-ball game.
Yep. In general, it will be all your game 2s in your Pinburg banks. Now, it might not be the second game you play, but
I've also noticed that a lot of the EMs that are 1-players also have those signs that say, if you tilt the game, it ends your game.
well, there's a
So-
couple different ones. Some will end your game. Some will tilt through multiple balls. It all depends on how the game was designed.
We call that the John Reflocal rule. Those cards exist because of John.
Yes.
I feel like I don't know which ones do that, so I just try not to tilt on any of them because I feel like it's going to
It's
happen.
an even better
Now,
wrench thumb.
Yeah.
in general,
Yeah.
if it's multiplayer, you're safe. But there are a couple of multiplayer EMs where tilting will end your game.
You're
And
also not
also-
safe because you could tilt through
Yes, I
your
was
balls
gonna
into
say,
Well,
somebody
tilt
else.
through.
Don't do that.
Yeah, your don't tilt motto is the correct one.
Watch, I'm going to tilt.
All right, this is a monster ball. He's got the
This
bell.
is a really good ball time.
Oh,
You
and
can
then
tell he's finished bell 4
Thanks.
times by
and then you curse me.
the counter there.
Look,
if extra
the
balls
moderators
have
are
been
going
on.
to curse you. You're just going to have to get used to that because that's kind of our job sitting over here.
All right.
All right, so we got Virginia back up here on Liberty Bell.
That's going to be hard to follow.
Now, does bonus carry over
No.
between balls? No. But there are some EMs where that happens.
Yes.
How can you tell?
That'd be a little bit of the rules knowledge.
That's just the thing that if you know, you know, and if you
Yeah.
don't. Oh, that was mean.
And not
All the
thinking about-
M's are mean.
You were robbed, not sneeded.
That's a totally different thing.
Totally different thing.
Me and Tia were saying, oh, it looks like these are Captain America shields down here. We like that.
Nice.
Is there a Captain America game?
He's in Avengers. I
Yeah,
think,
that's
right?
that's about
There's
it.
but I mean, there's also an old Spider-Man EM. I feel like a Cap game would be really. That would.
I
work
know,
well.
especially one of the older characters of all time.
Yeah.
Okay. He's going for the lit spinner there, and no luck.
Missed it, and that's gone.
Oh.
Yep.
And see you bye.
Off the tip of the flipper and quickly down the drain. All right. Virginia with a good plunge and in the hole. 500 and adds to her bonus.
Now, can we see the ball count on this angle? I don't think we can.
No, it's at the bottom of the
Yeah.
display.
So what ball are
so
they on? That was a good
This is, I
spinner.
believe this is ball 3.
Good spinner.
Yeah, it's ball 3.
Okay, she has her double bonus, and it's all the way up to 10,000, so definitely don't want to tilt here.
Just before I can start chanting, don't tilt, don't tilt, don't tilt.
And she takes the lead of this game, and she's closing in on
Yeah.
James.
Putting up a big, huge ball there.
So in most EMs, you'll discover that your drop targets and your spinners are worth the most amount of money.
Big money.
No whammy. Which in our case would be a tilt.
It's games like this that I find that if the spinners work 10 points, I can nail it with no problem.
That was
If
a
it's
good
lit for
slap save.
1,000,
That
Hey, Jeff, before you take your headset off, explain to the viewers what you were doing by tapping up at the top of the cabinet.
We want the ball to go in the scoop up top. I mean, that's one of the main goals. So basically, you know, if you kind of are on the fence about it, you know, I've learned from watching guys around the area, you know, you can kind of hit the cabinet in different areas to really make the ball do different things, especially if you know if it's going to drain or possibly go into a scoop. So I've learned you definitely have to kind of hit the cabinet, definitely, to help the ball go where you want it to go.
but smacking it further up the play field has more of an effect. Like if you were smacking it down by the flipper buttons while the ball's up at the top, it's not going to have much of an effect. Trying to smack up on the back of the play field when it's up there, that has more chance to help you up there and less chance to tilt.
And yeah, exactly. And what I've learned too is because you've got your tilt, you know, sensor in the front. You know, if you're hitting the back, you have less, like you said, less chance to tilt. So yeah.
It's a good tip and it's a good trick, and it's not something that everybody knows, which is why I wanted
No,
to draw attention to
no.
it.
I kind of thought people were crazy when they were doing it, and I'm like, oh, you definitely have to do that.
All right, we've got Virginia back up. She's still dominant in this game. Don't tilt, don't tilt, don't tilt.
Hey, no pressure, right?
Don't house ball.
Oh.
I didn't. I flipped once. It wasn't quite a house ball. I just didn't want Jeff to get comfortable.
It's easy to do on games like this.
I'm never comfortable in a Papa game.
You should not be.
Never.
That's the point.
Even on old games like this, Dan Hall has the slings set as sensitive as possible, and
See, that was a great nudge.
That's gone.
So we have another question from Michael Alande.
There you go.
When you guys are playing in tournaments, do any of you ever get nervous at all? Sneedly?
Absolutely, yeah. I tend to get nervous whenever a big game is about to happen. Finals rounds, I tend to get very nervous, but it's as soon as I step up to the machine, I kind of find that nervousness goes away. It's the anticipation that kills me.
So you've played in a bunch of Pinbirds, right?
I've played in about 4.
4?
Yeah.
So your very first game on day 1 of Pinball, are you nervous going into it? Or are you just relaxed and there to have fun?
Game 1, yes. Whenever the pressure starts to build up, my nerves tend to build up. It's whenever I realize I'm starting to do well, and whenever this ball matters more, I tend to get a little more nervous. But
Well, it looks like Virginia smoked Jeff on that one. So what are we're gonna have Jeff and James and Virginia.
Well, James ended up winning the set of 4 players there. He had 489, just beating Virginia's 478. So now we'll see if somebody else can dethrone the current Liberty Bell champion.
The wait is over. A revolution in LED lighting for your pinball is finally here. Fully customizable, full-spectrum lighting from Pinstadium Lights. Order yours now at pinstadium.com.
Thank you to Pinstadium for sponsoring us. We'll have some of their lights on our games on the stage for Replay FX. They are a remarkable product. They brighten up your game, and thank you.
We've got Rob snapping out and Miss Tia coming to join us at the booth.
Hey.
James stepping back up.
Hi,
We're going to have
everyone.
James versus Virginia here for dominance, or what's going on? Yep. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. I forgot about that. Hey, first, let me give a shout out to a U.S. women's national team. Hashtag USWNT today.
Big 2-1 win over England.
And now they go on to the finals, right?
Yes, they will play the winner of the Netherlands against Sweden, who play tomorrow. Tough
So,
first ball
Tia,
there.
tell us
That
what
was
you
a
thought
tough
about
one.
playing Liberty Bell.
I loved it, honestly. I didn't think I was a big fan, as it turns out. I think it's a great game. Spelling Bell is fun. All 4 targets.
That was some really good nudging by Virginia there, just to make it bounce on the slings instead of heading right out.
Really nice orbits. The symmetry. If you could get a flow, you could probably play forever.
Virginia really knows how to hit that right spinner.
Yeah, it could slip for nothing. It's the 10.1.
I like spinners. What can I say?
Uh-oh. And now we have our a replay lesson. As you can look at the display, you see that the score is 93-0.
Oh.
James started a 1-player.
We all got free practice.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
so the rule is you restart the game because anything that happened in that first ball doesn't count.
if you don't have enough players, it didn't happen.
And now he receives
So all those
a slight
10-point
amount of
spinners that
shame.
Virginia had,
However, should this happen at Pinburg, call your friendly tournament director. Don't take it
Please
upon
do.
yourself because somebody else might see you restart the machine and think you're cheating.
so Tia, so this will be your first year tournament directing. If someone calls
Pretty
you over
excited.
for this reason, will you shame them?
Oh, actually, what is the protocol? Maybe.
The protocol is to give them the proper ruling and reset the machine yourself because you're the
No,
tournament director.
I
But
won't.
You can absolutely give shade if they're your friend.
As tournament director, I will not shame. As not tournament director, I probably would.
Thank you to Rob's Memory Lane for the donation in YouTube. We appreciate it.
Nice little save there.
Now, James takes that ball of practice, and now he's putting up a monster.
Woo! Spinner rip. I am addicted to spinner rips.
They feel so good when you get them that clean.
I just like the noise they make.
Oh, especially on a good EM. Oh,
Yeah.
that little click, 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 click.
Very nice ball. Might be about 330.
Now let's make sure that player 2 was started correct. Yay!
Yes, this is a perfect demonstration why everybody should pay attention and make sure
Yep.
the correct number of players are.
It can be
on the
hard for
board.
people that aren't super experienced players to look up at the score at the same time that they're playing. So I
Exactly.
can understand how it wasn't caught, but that's why this rule exists.
We were all busy celebrating Team USA's win and not paying attention to
Yeah.
James hitting the start button.
Oh, that was almost a house ball. Now, what is a house ball for those paying attention at home that don't know these terms?
The general definition is a ball that you don't get any chance to flip at. A ball that like you plunge and it goes right down the out lane without flipping. But some people will say like one flip off of rubber and right down the out lane. They'll call that a house ball as well. So it's, I guess, personal preference on how you define it. But for me, it's anything that you didn't get a chance to flip.
Rob's Memory Lane with his donation told us loving the EMs on the show, Stellar Stream, which might be a double entendre for when we do Stellar Wars.
That's next week. This week we're doing 3 EMs. Next week, 3 solid states. What are they?
Ooh, Can I come back?
Stay tuned.
Petey, can you tell me how I advance the value of that upper saucer?
Why, yes, follow my arrows. You want to shoot this and this, or this and this.
You want to shoot the bell. You want to shoot B, E, L, and L.
All right. Because it looks like it gets really valuable. 30,000.
There's a 30,000 on that?
Yeah,
What?
it starts at 500, and then if you keep advancing, it'll get up to 30,000.
That is crazy talk.
Yeah, let's go for that. By let's
Oh,
let
Tia wants you to
us, I
shoot nothing
mean
but
you.
bell.
All right, Bell it is.
Get it up to 30.
Oh,
Yeah, so it starts small, 500 to 5,000, and in the end, 30,000 if you can do it 5 times.
I can't hit
Oh,
the
All right,
letters.
there's the L.
The safe way to do it would be to shoot the spinner and trust your pop bumpers to get the B and the E.
Oh,
but
that's
Right.
no fun at all.
Oh, I agree.
All right, but you've already passed your previous score and everybody's previous score.
Yeah, you have the high score of the night, and it's only ball 2, ball 3.
Ball 3.
So now you have to roll it.
So I know we're like
Roll it.
celebrating American Independence Day. Did anybody mention our friends to the north and yesterday being Canada Day?
That's old news.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we want to give a special shout out to Joe Cheravino, who does. He manages our social media for us from way up in the frozen tundra of Canada. And I hear they had some sort of, I don't know, celebration-y thing yesterday to celebrate not being America or not being as cool as America because we're way cooler.
Or being independent from America, maybe.
No, shush.
We have hot
Shush.
we have hot dogs and fireworks. They have Labatt's and maple syrup.
Ew.
Nothing wrong with
That
maple.
sounds like a terrible combination.
But is that like maple bourbon?
No,
No.
that's delicious.
Oh.
All right, so Virginia's got one of the L's. Let's see if she can get the other L at least. Oh, nope. Great ball, though.
great bomb.
All right, 320.
And I personally love the sound that the score reels make as they count up. Da-dee, da-dee, da-dee.
Both of the double bonus balls were utilized pretty well.
Now there are some games where you will have double bonus automatically on the last ball. This isn't one of them. You got to earn it. Actually, we'll be seeing one of those coming up.
So on a lot of EMs, the extra balls, at Papa, they're all turned off. The extra balls are all turned off. What do you get in exchange for your extra balliness?
In this case, nothing.
Nothing.
It never turns on. It doesn't exist.
Now, there are some games that'll give you points instead.
Yeah, I don't think there's any EM that will do that. That would come around with solid states and the ability to program them differently.
Jeez.
Oh, robbed.
Always.
All right, ball 5.
Only 446,000 to go.
grind this out. I'm more interested in seeing you do bell than I am in seeing you roll it.
Why not
There's
both?
one.
I think both, yep.
I think I might have to do bell in order to roll it.
Could you
There's two.
possibly hit nothing but the B or the E?
Yeah, that'll get you there.
Good job.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh. Now, you might have had a chance there with a good smack. It bounced around, but 635. Good score. Real good score. So now, if this were a tournament situation, Virginia knows that she would probably need to get the double bonus, so she wants to get at least the B and the E to light it.
Nice nudges.
It's going to be really rare in a game like this that you can actually trap up and take your time. It's the nudging that's going to give you the control.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now that's the shot that would get double bonus if it was lit, but she hasn't completed a B and an E yet,
She got
or
an
an L
E.
and L, so now she has it.
No.
It's
Is that light out?
lit, but no good. 450.
I'll take it.
You're at least consistent.
Some really good games of Liberty Bell.
All right, now we're going to see if Rob can beat with the high scores. What was that? 635 is our new high. And Elizabeth will get a chance to also
Crush.
beat these scores. Stepping into the booth is our current high score holder, James. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I've got top score number 1 and top score number 2.
All we care about is one.
All we care about is 1. 630.
635 and change.
At least I'm starting off strong. I started a 2-player game. I'm going to focus on bell as best I can.
An excellent strategy. Now, I think Rob is all about that EM life. What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, I grew up around a lot of EMs, fortunately, and I've learned a lot about nudging, a lot about slap saving, and I've also learned a lot of bad habits around it, but I'm a big fan.
All right, Elizabeth.
I did not warm up at all. Just so everybody knows.
On a
Suck
game-
more than
Well,
normal.
let's
On a
see,
game
here's
like
the
this-
rundown. Hit the saucer, spell the bell.
Rip a
some
spinner.
bonus.
You didn't need to warm up. You have the shot. That is the shot.
There can be a lot of luck to EMs. I mean, you could get the 30,000 lit without ever having the ball touch the flipper if the things
That was
bounce right off the
that was
pop
amazing.
bumpers up there.
Oh,
93.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I feel like a good plunge on an EM tends to be more important than a good plunge on a stern, for sure.
The plunge is important. I don't even necessarily subscribe to the house ball idea because I feel like I should have just plunged better. But that's the thing I have to go home and think about.
Well, in a game like this, I mean, I guess you could soft plunge and try to get it down to a flipper, but
I think it's too valuable.
Yeah, with the scoop adding to your bonus and the chance to get B and E and advancing the scoop value,
The plunge
you'd have
isn't-
to really be a really good control player to want to, if your whole goal is just nothing but spinner.
You know, this is actually one technique that I use. I heard Rob talking earlier about a question from the chat about being nervous when you're about to play a tournament game. And for me, the best way to deal with that is to play the game the way that's going to be fun for me. Because, you know, you can get rooked, you can get house balls in any different kind of way, but I want to play the game in a way that's going to be entertaining to me because it's going to keep me in the right set of mind. And so for me, a soft plunge to a flipper here is just not fun.
Or you could totally biff your flip.
That was a pretty good example of a major attempt at control. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out.
I feel like in EM play, just like in life, control is an illusion.
That is perfect.
In tournament play, this EMs can be a time where you don't pay attention to your opponent's score. You just go and play your game, and whatever you end up with, that's what you end up with. It's not like game knowledge is going to find you the 500 million point shot that's going to win you the game. It's all lumber chopping. I mean, there's a little bit that scores more than the others, but
That's why we consider them the equalizers, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit. Tia, when would you pick, in a tournament, when would you pick an EM over
If I felt like playing an EM.
Time as
That's
any.
what yep. That would be my best advice.
There are certainly times when I walk up, into a tournament, and I know that there's an EM that I know, and I know I can score better than 9 out of 10 people, and I might have a bad game on it. That's the challenge of knowing when to pick an EM. I think is you might not. It might not go well.
It might not go well, even if you do feel confident and have played it,
Well, that's
500 times.
It's like John Replogle. One of his go-to games is Wizard, an EM. He just feels so comfortable with it, and if he's in trouble in a league finals or something, and he needs a go-to
save.
game, that'll often be it.
Sneed with the scramble save and a
Awesome nudge.
beautiful.
Give me it. The problem with slap saving is you find yourself in a zone of just continuously slap saving over and over. You lose control.
Yeah, you have to get out of that cycle, and
Part of those bad habits I've learned.
Get back on track with spelling bell.
That's right.
no, he's halfway there. Now it's one more, and he'll have it maxed. There's the B.
It's worth 20,000 even now. It's huge. And I feel like the feed into that scoop from particularly the left spinner, if you hit a good spinner rip on the left spinner, it just bounces right in.
There, he's trying to smack the game to get the pop bumper to fire the ball in the right direction, get the right target. Ooh, that was dangerous, and now he's
Come on.
playing with fire.
That's it.
Okay, he's got it lit.
See if I can get it up there.
30,000. No, Bell does nothing now, Rob.
I wish I knew that.
Does nothing. All right.
Oh, max
It's up,
perfect.
and it's
Perfect.
in 30,000.
Get it again.
Yeah.
Yeah!
Keep nudging it up, and
Don't tilt.
He's going to have my score in like one ball here.
he has you beat if he does.
Oh.
He has you beat if he doesn't tilt.
There you go.
So now it's up to Rob to roll it.
That is the one job.
Anything
you
else will be failure.
And he will feel the failure.
Oh, he's still got a couple balls left. Still got some time here. Still. 7:54. This is a great game.
Well, now that Rob spelled Bell, I don't have to aim for that anymore.
Yeah. So
No,
what?
let's play
What do you want to go
let's
for
play
now?
another game.
I don't know. Stuff. Things. Nothing.
Have you ever been to Philadelphia and seen the Liberty Bell?
I have. I am also really good at bricking literally every shot I want to try to make. Ta-da! Let's see if Rob can roll this.
Pressure's on. What ball are we on? 4 or
Pressure
5?
is on.
pressure at all.
Is this when you get nervous? Is
This would be a
is-
moment.
This would be a
What ball are we
appropriate
on, Rob?
example.
This is 5.
All right. So it is pressure. Double bonus, and there it is. It'll get you there.
You know,
That looks scary right out of the gate, but got a chance here. Now that was the 1,000 spinner, so that's going to help.
And when the pressure is on, I think we can all agree, just gotta play like you always do. And I mean, unless you were playing badly, then you might want to
Oh,
Change that.
start playing differently.
this is like a time for a degree commercial.
Oh, man.
Under pressure,
Still no tilts.
Great game.
909.
You know, Rob always
He
sticks
did. He
with
lost.
it. He sticks with it, and like, you know, you might be making that save multiple times, you know, because you make a slap save and a slap save again. But I feel like that's one of those measures of amateur versus, you know, professional players is they're capable of making that second and third save when needed.
Instead of panicking.
Instead of panicking, it's not. They didn't take their eye off the ball after they made the save. They kept with it. They kept tracking it.
Repetition.
That player or nudge right there by Elizabeth was beautiful. It was heading toward the right out lane, and she just
very
gave it
well.
just enough to bring it back over the sling into her flipper. Well done.
And this can be a good way to play EMs. Get a feel for
305.
the flippers and work towards the top.
Upcoming broadcast, we talked about how next week was going to be solid states. We have Blackout, Warlock, and Stellar Wars. Then in 2 weeks, we have Minberg, where I am the defending champion. That is our Replay FX test run, where we get we put up 4 games. It'll be like a Pinburg bank and play 4 people as if it were the finals. Then test out our equipment, make sure we are all ready to go for what we see at the end of the list there. Pinburg Intergalactic and the Women's International Pinball Tournament broadcasts August 3rd and 4th during Replay FX. Will be a lot of great coverage going on of those events. We normally do the semifinals and finals of Pinburg for the A division. We did the Intergalactic finals last year, and we did the Whipped finals. So there'll be a lot of great coverage. Hopefully, check it out. So, Tia, you were saying you were excited about next week's.
Yeah, those are my jam, as we say, right? Those solid states are probably my favorite to play. Not those specifically, but Warlock is it's a relatively rare one to see around.
Yeah, we just got that one
Yeah,
in.
somehow I see these Warlocks just coming out of the ears these days, which is amazing. So I assume Warlock will be somewhere around Pinburg. If you get a chance to play Warlock, it's your lucky day.
I don't remember if that's going to be in the Pinburg Bank or not, but even if it's in the Pinburg Bank, there'll be some open time after Pinburg. Check it out. Play it. It's a really fun game. You don't see too many of them.
You really don't.
I think the only one that I'd played until we got this one, Phoebe Smith had a gorgeous one that she took to Louisville, and it's a really fun game.
Blackout is fun.
I love Stellar Wars.
Stellar Wars, right? Who doesn't love Stellar Wars?
I love it.
I guess somebody.
I love drop target games, especially when it's close to the flipper and it just comes right back at you. You have to be ready after every shot.
All right, moving on to our second game of the night. Spirit of 76. There's some 4-player action, and this is one of the EMs where you don't shoot the spinner. That's kind of an unusual strategy, but what? Yeah, no spinner. This is a Gottlieb from December 1975. There's 3 different versions of this game. The 2-player version of it is Pioneer, and there was also a special 2-player Add-A-Ball version called New York that they produced in honor of the laws banning pinball being lifted in New York. I can't say I've ever seen one of them. So, Rob will be stepping up here. This game, there's essentially two things to do. You can spell A, B, C, D, and E,
Got it.
or you can shoot drop targets.
Oh wait, there's drop targets. I'm
There
totally
are
fine with this
drop
game now.
targets. They're pretty cool, actually.
On
I think they say
Similar to-
1976.
Yeah, those one side says 1776, the other side says 1976. If you complete
Are
both,
they worth different amounts?
no. Good question. No. If you complete both drop target banks, that will light this scoop here for double bonus occasionally, and it actually says that on the roll card. Will occasionally light for double bonus.
What if it
Totally
doesn't?
fair.
That would be rude.
It'll come a time where it doesn't. And actually, what is going on here is the lights will cycle between extra ball, special, and double bonus. You light double bonus by completing all the drop targets. You light extra ball by getting A, B, C, D, and E, and you light special by doing both. And if you've accomplished that, the light will be on. If you haven't, the light will obviously stay off, but it'll cycle through those three, and what changes it is the star rollovers. So if you know the double bonus should be lit and it's not, shoot for the stars, and
That was awful. That was strictly terrible.
hopefully you'll get the one that you need. This is
There's never anything wrong with getting bad balls out of the way. First shot.
As long as it's a 5-ball game, you're fine.
Oh yeah. You've got to expect that everyone's going to get at least one bad one.
Sure.
Now you have to be careful on this game here. Like Virginia almost did there. These aren't slings. They will not fire. You can very easily misplay a ball off of them.
So is it just the drop targets that advance bonus, or are there other ways to advance it?
The drop targets and the outlanes.
Oh wow.
A, B, C, D, E.
Now what?
That's a lot of work to get up to max
So-
bonus.
If the extra ball was on, the extra ball light might or would occasionally come on based on the star rollovers, but since we have them turned off, you don't get to see that light. All right, Jeff.
Alrighty.
How do you feel about this game?
I like this game. I like drop targets.
How do you feel about that backblast? It's so
Okay.
So very patriotic.
Is it the most patriotic of
No.
the three? No?
I think the most patriotic's coming up next. Got a great question in the YouTube chat from David Dennis. What does Add-a-Ball mean? There are games where essentially it will start out, you'll start out, like normally as you play on these games, you play ball 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it will show that. On an Add-a-Ball, you'll start off at 5, and it'll count backwards. However, if you do certain things, it will award you additional balls, and you can do it multiple times. So normally it'll have a counter from like 1 to 10. You can get up to 10 balls if you do the right things to add balls.
it's a terrible tournament game.
Yeah, you don't want to. You don't want to. Well, you can. I believe you can turn off the settings based off of the positions of the wires in the back to turn off Add-a-Ball. But you don't. You wouldn't want to use Add-a-Ball for tournament. Here's James showing us our score reels, and on the right side there, right here, you can see a whole bunch of plugs. All these plugs go into different positions, and that decides how the game will be played. So one of those plugs is extra balls, and it's in the position to turn it off. You could also, one of those plugs would also be 3 balls and 5 balls. And then you have the
Matches.
yep. I mean, it's a really interesting system of how it all works.
It's a series of tubes, just like the internet.
All right, now you see Elizabeth has A, B, or A, B, D, and
Plugging
E.
those letters.
She has to get it up to the top to get to C, which in our case doesn't do anything because there's no extra ball, but she's making that shot there. Perfect.
It still feels satisfying in a way.
That can always
Because that's the only way to get to C, up at the top.
the
Nice ball there.
feeds out of lanes like that on the side can often be hard to read.
But when we're talking about on the last game about how important plunges are, if extra balls are on, you want to plunge very well because that's the easiest way to get to C. Just plunge good. This game is such a grindy one, though, with those settings because the drop targets don't reset, so you can only get so much bonus. And then after that, it's fire it up into the pop bumpers and see what you can do.
Are you having fun with Spirit of 76, Jeff?
It's brutal. I'm not going to lie. It's a brutal game. But I enjoy the challenge.
We want to thank Buffalo Pinball for the biddies in the Twitch chat. Always great to have those guys here. Woo! That was a tough shot there. Actually shooting it up the A, but it's 1,000 points. If you can do it consistently and get control, it could be a decent strategy, I guess.
Yeah, especially after you've maxed out your.
He's definitely going for control.
Now, this is a game where nudging is important. If you are going for the A, B, C, D, and E, nudging it so that it'll go down the one that you want.
Post passing is just not going to work.
Is that what you were going for?
Listen, let's not talk about it.
EMs, they do present unique challenges for things like post passing and shatsing, and there will be some that you're able to do these on, and others not so much.
All right, Sneed.
Show us how it's done, man.
I'll buy you a birthday present
Thanks.
if you chill.
If I chill, okay. Game on.
Oh no.
What is he chilling? Oh, you seriously chill off the flippers?
Yes, a dead
A
bounce.
dead bounce.
Oh.
Okay.
I think that's a bad idea.
It's not going so good.
Oh, he did it!
Did it again.
Oh, these are bouncier than I thought they'd be.
That's still very risky.
It is.
So I feel like, yeah, on EM, you never know whether, you know, a flipper is going to, on a nice stern with a well-maintained flipper, you know it's going to bounce over. You just
Hey,
know.
guys, for a second, I want to draw some attention to the artwork because a lot of people buy games based more on the theme or the art than on how the game actually plays. And as like a simple piece of Americana, I really like this one. They've got in the backlash, you've got your frontiersman and your astronaut, and then like down here on the slings, you've got your covered wagon and your space shuttle, and it's just it's simple, but like for a bicentennial piece, I think it's really nice.
It really it's called Spirit of 76.
Yeah.
1776 and 1976.
And those are your drop targets that you're hitting down. But I just really like the art. I think it's simple, but it does a good job.
Before you plunge,
Too
so I'm
late.
going to ask you the question anyway. We got a great question in the chat. Is there anything that makes you guys more nervous than competing in a tournament? And I can only imagine what your answer is going to be. Like walking.
The Titanic sinking.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was a pretty little flip.
Aha!
Oh.
Served me no good.
Now, Elizabeth showed something there that you don't always have to do a full flip. Her flip was just a little button hit, and it just gave the ball a tiny little lob.
Don't you?
It did.
It did.
It did not listen to you, Virginia.
Jeff wasn't
So,
ready
as far
for
as
me to be done that
nerves
quick.
in a tournament, that's just part of it. You have to figure
This
out how to
game is
get that
brutally
under
mean.
control. It's part of the fun, a little bit.
My biggest worry is coming up, having to make a rolling at Pinburg that I am not familiar with.
Yeah, running a tournament can be really, really
Much more
nerve-wracking.
nerve-wracking.
Of course, tournament players are always so understanding.
Speaking of tournaments, there
Very
were
mean.
2 big ones over the weekend. Congratulations to Steve Bowden for winning, I believe it was Pintastic in New England, or it was the New England event. I think it was called Pintastic,
Nice
the
job.
circuit event.
Sports.
Yay.
And John Del Zoppo won the Amazing Race in Columbus over the weekend, beating out our Chris Stevens in the
Boo.
last round.
I mean, yay.
John's a good guy. Yeah.
I know. Congratulations, everyone.
Evan Bookbinder showing well in that tournament as well, right?
Yeah. He
Top
ended,
four.
he ended up 4th. But 4th place is the 3rd loser, so we don't speak of it. He came up a little bit short.
Are we making fun of Evan?
We are.
He's not even here to defend himself, you guys.
Oh, no, he's not. I'm sure he would approve.
He's
Hi,
probably
Evan.
watching. He'll
Brian Tessier can pass on the message to him at his 4th of July picnic. Thank you, Brian, for all you do in the chat room. Some people have to do the dirty work. All right. The A and that E, this A and this E lane, reading the feeds off those can be so tricky sometimes.
But I think you read my mind, Pete.
Because you see it coming down and it's going to hit somewhere in that area. What way is it going to bounce? Is it going to go through the A or the B lane? Is it going to bounce towards the middle of the play field? Backspin to the out lane? You have to be very diligent from those feeds. That's a good thing, like watching other players and see how the ball will react to those in tournament situations. All right, Jeff currently got the lead on this game. Let's see if he can build on it.
Yeah, this is definitely a game I would be watching every ball. Watching how every player
like that, I should have
plays.
flipped.
And
I was
that,
stuck
that
under
is a
the
dead
thing.
bounce gone
Don't
wrong.
dead bounce.
Oh, no.
I hate watching other people that I'm competing against
Still in the
play.
lead.
It puts me in a terrible state of mind. But in this game, I feel like the information gained from watching, how it comes off of those different rubbers at different speeds is too valuable. You just have to watch.
Okay, now on this, this is a game that does have double bonus on the last ball, so everybody's
That was a
still in the
great
game.
catch.
Mostly because it's been very rude to them and nice nudge.
I always like the double bonus on the last ball. It gives you, everybody's always got a chance. Love me some super orbit.
I think,
It's like those game shows where all the first 45 minutes mean nothing because the last 15 minutes have some great catch-up feature. that everyone's still in the game. Nice ball there by Rob.
Thank you.
Huge bonus, 45,000. Good score.
good ball.
Just in case anybody is wondering, we're letting Rob win because it's his birthday.
Yeah, that's how we play around here.
Yep. Totally. We're forgiving and nice and never play for like $100 games.
Is Rob familiar with $100 games? That seems like something he'd do.
Yes. Where do you think I learned it from?
But you only do $100 games on Derby Day.
Yes. Because it's
Nice.
the greatest game.
It's nudges.
Oh. Good ball there. Got her to 29,000. Now Virginia's going to have to chop a lot of wood to catch her up, but it's doable.
Hey, double bonus is lit on the last ball.
Double bonus.
Never tilt your bonus away.
That can often be a time for a really good choke. Don't choke. Don't do it.
Yeah, I was going to say thanks,
Don't do it.
Tia. Really? Really?
Oh.
Thanks, Tia.
Sorry. It's certainly my patented move at this point.
What, choking?
Oh, this one counts? Wow.
Yeah, nothing's more heartbreaking, though, when a double bonus ball and you get a house ball when on that chance. 2 times 0 is... not going to win it.
You know, when I first started warming up on this game, I thought it was a good thing
that
to
won't
knock
do it
down
either.
2 targets at a time, but I think it's actually a bad thing.
Good enough for second place. All right.
Yeah, go
They're
play
kicking me
pinball.
out, and they're going to make me go play, so I will pass off the headset to Virginia.
Good evening, everybody.
So I was saying, hitting down 2 targets at the same time, you only get 1 bonus for it. As if, you know, if you knock down 1 target at a time, you get 1 bonus, and then you have the potential for another bonus. Because the targets don't reset, you get cheated out of a potential bonus.
It
on
looks
a good
cooler
roll.
when you hit 2, though.
It does.
I
It
can't
feels
help
better.
it, the machine cheats. I mean, really.
All machines cheat all of the time.
Yes, they do. But EMs are still somewhat fun to play regardless.
I like them. I like them a lot.
I didn't used to. I used to love the newer games, and then I started playing up here and gained a quick appreciation for all the different ones out there.
I've always had a weird masochistic fascination with playing EMs and older games. Anytime I've been out and there's been an older game, I find I just sit there and drop quarter after quarter after quarter into it.
Because you think you can beat the game?
Or is it because you're cheap, James?
It might be because I'm cheap too, and EMs tend to be less expensive, but
We currently have a Derby Day at Kickback Pinball Arcade, and we do a thing around here called Open Streets in Lawrenceville, where Kickback is located, and they close off all of the streets to traffic, and people can just walk down the middle of the street and enjoy the neighborhood for a day. And we moved Derby Day outside on Sunday for Open Streets for a couple hours, and we sat it on the sidewalk, and there were so many people that just, like children, that just wandered up to it, and we're so excited to see it. And that's one of those games that as a grown player, as an adult, and as a professional player or an amateur player, it's horrible. That game is so hard. But to watch these children just get complete joy out of it was fantastic.
But I have to admit, that time it was in Papa Classics, it was fun to watch everybody play it.
I think Tia just tried to tap pass.
Did I say Derby Day? I meant Doodlebug.
Oh, you did say
Ah.
Derby Day.
You know what?
I was
That's
gonna
Pete's
say.
fault. It's totally Pete's fault. No, it was Doodlebug.
Oh, yeah.
Doodlebug's a great game too.
Yeah, it is. Was it the 2-player or the 4-player?
It's the 2-player.
Okay, yeah, that one's a lot of fun. I haven't gotten to play it enough to really...
Because the 4-player is called Dipsy Doodle.
Oh, that's right.
Totally different name, different backlash.
And different rule sets.
Yeah, but same layout.
Yeah.
Same layout. You get to doodle on both of them. And doodling is really fun.
Derby Day, though, is another great game. More accurately, a pitch and bat, and not really a pinball machine. But it's one of my favorites, and we should focus on that someday on PAPAtv, because it's super unique, and not a lot of people have seen it before.
And we can make bets on the horses as we play?
That's the only reason you play, is to bet on the horsies. So we got Rob up here for ball 2.
Yes.
Rob, what are you shooting for?
I'm trying to keep it up top to get the A, B, C, D, and E before I focus on the drops. I feel like the drops will just come on their own. But largely, I'm avoiding the A and E lanes in the middle there because they seem to be kicking it right down the middle. These two. Avoiding those.
Unfortunately, you can't get extra ball with those lanes, but you do get points.
Now, have you guys already discussed, is this a game that'll give you an extra ball, or does it give you points, or do you get nothing?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. You get.
Nothing, sir. Good day.
Are
doesn't
there
even-
any EMs that give you extra points?
No, but we're going to keep asking anyway until we find one.
You never know. It could happen.
Pete,
Yes,
how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
What are you shooting for?
The outline.
You missed.
Damn, missed again.
Wait, is Lost World? No, Lost World's a solid.
Yeah, it's a solid
Yeah.
state.
I almost trapped.
These games are
Oh.
playing hard and slick and fast because they are set up, nominally set up for Pinburg. So they've got their hard settings, they've got the extra balls turned off, they are newly cleaned and waxed, which is why they play a little bit faster. Tia, show us something amazing.
Tia is amazing. She shot the C.
I love Tia's stance. Like, look at that. Look at that intensity.
Tia is she's a fantastic competitor and one of my favorite people to play with.
Aw.
Yeah. Her eyes are locked in. She's like down, head down, focused.
Sorry. Try to have a little more fun.
You just broke her concentration while she was getting B, C, and D. So,
She didn't even notice. Well, she wouldn't have seen herself.
No!
Oh!
almost Lazarus that.
Our first Lazarus chance. Gotta stick with it.
Have we explained what a Lazarus is?
Not today.
Well, for anybody who might be tuning in for the first time today.
Go for it.
Go for it. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to mess this up, but a Lazarus is when the ball starts to drain and then it bounces back up into play. It goes down and there might be just some reason it bounces back up and you're able to save it and start playing again. So you think you've lost the ball. But
Not
yeah.
like what Jeff just said.
Yeah, that was a straight drain. But yeah, the way Tia's bounced back up, she could have almost saved that and
Yeah.
played with it.
So sometimes it'll bounce back up because you have a post there. There's no post on this game. It might bounce back up because the momentum makes it hop on and hit the apron or hit one of the metal bars that are behind the flippers there. Or magic is the other reason. Magic and sorcery would be the other reason that it might pop back out into the playfield.
Oh, there are so many different kinds. There's times when the ball rolls back all the way up the other side into the kickback area and activates the kickback.
Oh, I've never seen that one.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've not seen
yeah.
that.
Pete,
Don't do that.
don't do that.
No.
I feel like these scores are lower.
I'm really disappointed I blew that Lazarus.
They are lower.
I'm
Can you
not
see what
sure.
it bounced
Try
off of, Tia?
again. No. Some games are easier, actually, for recovery than others.
Now, when you find that you're going to lose the ball, it's going to go down the center drain, do you have any techniques or movements that you will make that will cause a Lazarus?
No.
Nope. All right. Good to know.
Is one able to cause a Lazarus?
Well, that's what I'm asking. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that in some cases that's illegal.
There are illegal moves. There are
What, the bounce
death
back?
saves and bang backs and things like that that are illegal. But there are, there might be a subtle motion that I am unaware of. Again, see sorcery. That might cause a ball to Lazarus clean and fair and not against the rules.
I think it's a magnet, personally. I think they have a magnet. It's not really sorcery.
Anybody shows up with a magnet at Pinburg, I will personally disqualify you.
Yeah, but see, that would fall under things that you're not allowed to do.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
dangerous.
I feel like these center drains are too wide. I don't like them. Tia takes a definitive lead. BT dubs.
We're not representing America very well right now.
You're not representing Pittsburgh very well right now, man.
Not at all. A lot of pressure. Jeez, Elizabeth.
Somebody needs to put on a spacesuit helmet. That that would help you play.
Yes.
Well, you know, Pete used to have a hat like the frontiersman. He
Oh, I think
wore
I've
it.
seen that.
Yeah, he wore it in West Virginia, and I believe he wore it down at Southern Fried. But then he ended up giving it to the West Virginia champion this year.
Hey, thanks, Pins Rules. 200 biddies. We really appreciate it.
Oh, Rob was robbed of that. That was terrible. That is what we call a house ball, folks.
This game's giving Rob the best birthday presents ever.
Yeah. Seriously.
But I mean, yeah, last game he had 40-some thousand. This game he's not getting a chance to flip.
So
That happens.
today is Rob's birthday. It is July 2nd.
Oh, Pete.
Oh.
That is called a
Pete.
tilt.
I would wait for a second there, Tia, because
It's good advice. How long do I get to wait?
well, I'll start a clock if I think you're taking too long, and then you get 60 seconds.
Yeah, they usually say 30 to 60 seconds.
I don't think it's gonna take that long though. Wasn't too violent. Was it?
Yeah. Whenever you're comfortable with it, man. But not longer than 60 seconds.
Yeah, that is something for players who might be new to playing. When somebody tilts, you may want to wait a few minutes, or not a few minutes, a few seconds at least, 30 to 60 seconds. You may want to wait 30 to 60 seconds to
Nice tap.
shoot your or plunge your ball, because the tilt bob in the machine might still be swinging, and you could end up tilting your ball if you plunge too soon.
But if you wait an excessive amount of time, a tournament director will tell you to play.
So James, did I hear you earlier say if you hit 2 targets at a time, it only gives you 1 bonus?
I'm pretty sure that's what I saw in practice.
Interesting.
It's rude. It's really, I feel cheated.
Is that unique to this game, or is that universal?
I think it's a lot of EMs. Yeah, I think that it just has to do with how the score reels count. It's too busy still counting one
Gotcha.
of them. It can't count 2 at the same time.
Gotcha. There are times, though, when hitting multiple targets just looks so pretty. Like,
See, I only got 1 there,
Yeah, and you
and
got
I hit
2.
1 across. Because it should give you 1,000 per target, correct, or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, so maybe it requires more of a delay than that gave it.
Yeah, I think it
That's
needs a full count. It needs to go the do, and then you can hit another target.
So there are games, though, where hitting multiple drop targets in either at the same time or in rapid succession are beneficial. So I'm thinking Space Shuttle. If you're aiming for that spinner, you want to knock down those 3 drop targets on the way to the spinner. Iron Maiden has something similar if you want to go super modern. But apparently on the old EMs, guys, you want to hit them 1 at a time.
Yeah, 'cause
Stellar Wars.
Oh, Stellar Wars.
yeah, 'cause the machine doesn't necessarily have the mechanics, I guess, to recognize 2 at once.
They did what they could do.
Yeah.
No, hey, absolutely.
All right, Rob had a really rough game, and I'm still losing to him.
Well, on the bright side, you have double bonus.
Yay, double bonus.
What's double nothing?
Yeah, didn't somebody jinx me with that?
Oh,
Hey.
somebody was.
Got a trap. Now what?
So how do
There
you
we
collect
go.
your bonus? Do you have to hit that saucer in the middle? And by saucer, I mean the saucer and not the drain?
Right.
I think that's how you. The saucer collects double bonus if you complete the drop targets on ball 1 through 4.
Okay.
Occasionally.
Sometimes.
Occasionally.
So Tia wants to aim for that, right?
I think she's already got double bonus because
Right.
this is the last
So she wants to
ball.
collect it.
Uh,
Or does it auto-collect at the end of ball 5?
Well, at the end of ball 5, it absolutely auto collects, but is there a way to do it during the ball?
I don't think it collects bonus on this one because I don't think you can get anything more than what you get from the drops.
But if you collect double bonus, couldn't you reset it?
Yeah, see there she.
Oh no.
Oh!
And there she hit 2 drop targets and got 1,000 points.
I'm
All right. That's gone.
Oh,
And there's a house ball.
that was a house ball.
That was a house ball.
All right, we have a question from the YouTube chat that we need to transfer over to the Twitch chat to give a holler to Buffalo Pinball, because we got a question from Jason Zoller. Where will there be a Buffalo Pinball Summer Open this year? So Buffalo Pinball, eyes on you. We're waiting for you to answer. We don't actually know.
And Pindigo is the premier social score tracking app for pinball players. Save your scores, follow your friends, compare and compete. It's available for iOS and Android. Check it out online at pindigo.app.
That's awesome. I'm actually going to download Pindigo right now, literally.
Here's some of our most active users on Pindigo. Well, not ours, but the most active and the trending machines. So if you want to go and take down JCS there, get on Pindigo, start recording your scores, and have a blast. So we're swapping out machines right now.
So while we're swapping out,
We're gonna
talk about replay.
We're going to talk about
FX.
Replay FX. Replay FX is a blast if you've never been. One of the largest gaming conventions in the country, largest pinball tournament in Pinburg. We've got the Women's International Pinball Tournament. We've got the Intergalactic Pinball Tournament, which is the second largest pinball tournament in the world. And if you didn't know, Virginia here handles all of our volunteerism. So we need people. This wouldn't happen without all of our great helpers. So feel free to go to replayfx.org/volunteer and reach out to Virginia.
And we have a lot of great incentives.
A lot of great incentives. We need scorekeepers for Intergalactic. We need people to help out throughout the run of the show.
We need people for setup and tear down, definitely.
So James is showing you right here our form. Please go and fill that out if you think that you can lend us a couple of hours of your time. We'd be happy to have you. How's volunteering looking this year, Virginia?
It's coming along. The last couple weeks, a bunch of people have come in. We've had some people that are fairly new. In fact, quite a few that are new. And then we have some of the repeat returning volunteers who we always appreciate. And make sure if you're signing up, maybe try recruiting friends, family, tell them about how great it is, tell them about the great incentives that we've got going on. You can get a free pass or, a whole weekend pass depending on how many shifts you work. If you work setup, there's extra incentive for that because we
And tear down.
Oh, and tear down, because that is where, not that we don't need people during the show, but a lot of the heavy lifting is done for setup and tear down. So,
Yeah, and we'd like to see all of you there. And now we've got James Manuel stepping out. He's going to go play our next game, Freedom, and it's stepping into the booth for the very first time ever. We have Jeff Nieport. Hi, Jeff.
Hi. How are you, ladies?
Doing all right. How are you?
Good.
What'd you think of, what did we just play? Spirit of 76.
That's a tough game. That's definitely a tough game, but I enjoy it. It's a challenge.
How many EMs do you have in your house?
I don't have any at my home, but
Oh.
I own 4, but they just don't work at the moment.
Ah,
so,
projects.
Once I can find one of these EM pinball techs around the area that aren't so busy, maybe I'll get some EMs in the house.
Try checking in like late August.
Yeah, for sure.
They got some time around then.
It's not a good time right now.
No. All right, so now we're playing Freedom with all of the exclamation points that the keyboard will type.
or the space that we have to put all those exclamation points.
So Freedom is a 1976 Bally EM. They only made 5,000-ish. There's also a solid-state version that has 1,500 units. So you might have seen that one and not this one, or you might have seen this one.
Same name?
Same name,
Same name, okay.
Is
just
the
different versions.
Playfield the same?
I don't know that. Pete didn't write that on a little cheat sheet that I am reading from.
Well, when
so
he
maybe somebody in the chat could tell us.
Could tell us? Yes.
So yeah, all 3 of these games we have. Spirit of 76 was was released in 1975. Freedom was released in 1976, and Liberty Bell was 1977. So all of these games are older than me.
All these games are younger than me.
Oh.
So thanks for making me feel old.
You didn't have to pipe in. That was your choice.
I know.
So Tia, why don't you walk us through some of the game features real quick before you plunge? What's going on this game?
There's this saucer here that's a real pain in my butt. Okay. I'm going to try to get it in the saucer at the top.
So there's that one. You got a saucer up there. That's worth a lot.
So,
what else we got going on?
Those juicy spinners. Can't forget about those.
Oh, Spinner City.
And then, yeah. So these spinners, they're not exactly as symmetrical as, some other games. It could be a little more difficult to get into the rhythm, but I'd still like to make that happen.
Are you going to try to be a slave to the rhythm? To the rhythm.
So, if I could insert that into this Bally pinball machine, that would be amazing.
We didn't mention there are the fun drop targets too.
Yeah.
So what exactly do these drop targets do?
Great question.
They give us points of some type.
Yes.
Drop targets are always fun. They're my favorite.
I'm going to assume, like with the other EMs, and this should be universal, kids, so pay attention. You want to hit one drop target at a time, because if you hit two, it'll only register one 9 times out of 10.
So I looked up the other Freedom, and it is identical playfield.
Nice.
Just looks like it's got some new guts.
Did you happen to catch what the year was on that? Were they the same year?
That one is. Looks like my Google machine reloads. That's 1976. And the one we're playing now is also 1976.
So they just, same year, released an EM and a solid state. So in Gottlieb's thinking at the time, or I'm sorry, in Bally's thinking at the time, it would have been one classic and one modern.
Ow.
With the same playfield, same layout.
And there's a couple.
Similar to Hot Tip. That's
Oh.
the other one I was trying to think of.
Freedom now has a lot more exclamation points.
Freedom, again, all of the exclamation points belong to Freedom. And this game appears to be much harder than the previous ones that we were playing. Like, did we save the hardest for the last? I think we might have.
Yes. Did we talk about how most of the EMs probably are going to have 5 balls?
Yes, we mentioned that in the first, but it's worth mentioning again. If you're at Pinburg, your EMs are going to have 5 balls, almost all of them. So don't finish 3 balls and walk away, because you'll get a 0. So as you can see, as he hits the pop bumpers, as he hits the slings, everything right around here is going in a circle.
So it keeps changing.
So it keeps changing, and it keeps, wherever it lands when he drains is what he's gonna get, if I'm not mistaken. Am I mistaken, James?
Outlane?
Producer James? Just the outlanes. Only when he hits the outlanes. If you go down the middle, you get no mercy.
So to collect.
You want to nudge towards an outlane.
Oh, with the short plunge, okay.
Excellent.
Okay.
So you did that just for control, basically.
I did. Just.
It's a bold move.
Nice.
Pop.
Oh! It's a nice little flipper flutter there. Almost saved it. So Pete is up again. Pete, what are you going to show us? You want to go for the full plunge or the soft plunge?
Well, I'm going for the full plunge because you want to get that scoop. But even before I do that, I need to admit that Freedom is the best George Michael song.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was that ever in contention?
Some would debate it.
Oh, and they might be wrong.
But now for my plunge, I want to be careful not to hit the slings up there to change that, because double bonus is great. Because 2 times 1 is.
Nicely done, sir.
Thank you. 2 times 1 is 2.
So another way.
The man had a goal. He sought out that goal. He achieved that goal.
He didn't say you want to do anything after that.
Nope. He didn't even want to flip.
You know?
Just wanted to collect his double bonus.
I have the same
That's what you
opportunity
get for gloating, by the way.
Yeah, so Rob has the same opportunity.
because it's on 2 places on the wheel. Let's see if I can pull it
Ah.
off.
There's that which is lit and that which is not.
So another way of collecting that is hitting that scoop.
Jeez.
So
Ooh.
it's not just the outlanes.
So
So you collect it, then the next ball you get that award.
it would have if he had the scoop collects every time that you hit it, and then it would also collect on the outlane. Nice little nudge there. Beautiful feed to the spinner.
Yay, I got a drop catch.
Whew.
It's a miracle.
First of the night.
Just
So this is a really weird, unique layout
yeah.
with the 3 pops in the center, and then there's just like wide open lower play field. You've only got the 1 bank of drop targets.
Yeah, and there's nothing in front of that bottom pop bumper, correct? It's just wide open there.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Well, there's just there's the one rollover.
Oh, there is a rollover right in the center there, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, but also you have the way this one.
The asymmetrical
And-
spinners. Yeah, it's a unique layout. Who do we have anything pulled up about who designed this machine? Jeff, you have the internets up.
Yeah, I have it right here. Give me 1 moment.
Oh,
Let's
nice
see.
nudge.
This was designed by George Christian. Let's see what else this gentleman made. 8-ball champ, Black Pyramid, 8-ball deluxe.
Oh, wait, are you looking at the solid state or the EM, or is it the same for both?
He's looking at the designer.
All right.
So
Yeah.
the designer would be the same for both.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I believe so.
It's been a long day.
Pete does not get his rollover or his flip.
Oh, a lot of great games from this guy. You know, from
Oh!
Oh,
All right.
no.
Good.
Yes.
That was a
Good
Yeah.
tip and trick to know. Pete didn't hit anything. He didn't hit his saucer. He didn't hit a pump bumper. He didn't flip and hit a spinner or a drop target. And this is a machine that has switch validation. So because he didn't hit a single switch, not a sling, not a rubber, not anything, the machine registers it as nothing and gives him back his ball.
Ultimate skill.
I had no idea who was going to do
The
that.
ultimate luck.
It was. I gambled and won.
Yeah, that is something you can watch for. Some EMs will give you the ball back, some EMs will not. So just make sure you're paying attention to what player is up whenever you
Bye.
lose your ball like that.
Also, it's not always possible in all games. Some games it's not possible to get to the playfield without a switch validation. I'm thinking Space Shuttle again because I love that game. You, when you plunge, you go straight to the rollovers, which goes straight to the pops. There's no way to get to the playfield without hitting a switch.
Right.
Right.
Even if you just hit a single rollover.
Yep.
Yeah, but I've seen some of the EMs where it's possible to not have a switch touched, and then that's basically just considered a house ball.
The feed from this spinner down is just brutal because it's just that's a bad arrow, but it's coming down like this, just straight into the center.
These older machines, I mean, they really are so well built that, I mean, you can't move them as much as you can the newer pins.
Well,
So
and they're
anything like there is just very tough to manipulate.
yeah, they're also more sensitive in a lot of cases.
Absolutely. You know, and that's another thing where you might have to give it a nudge up top.
And he did have his double bonus slip there.
James always so cordial.
He's a very nice young man.
Yes, yes, he is.
All right. Drop targets.
You're gonna go for your drop targets?
Spinner. I don't think
Go
I've
for
hit
drop
anything.
targets. Hit the drop targets. See what they do.
Yeah, we haven't
Curious. Yeah, go for drop targets.
we haven't seen much of the drops, so
You know?
nice.
Mistake.
There's been a lot of like flutter flippers tonight, and it's been impressive to watch because that's not a skill that I have. And if you watched me play the last game, I don't have many skills to begin with. So
You just don't have as much opportunity to work on your skills because you're always running a tournament or running, an
Yeah.
event or.
I got rusty.
Yeah.
And you were on
Nice.
the lamb for a little bit too. That didn't help.
Well, shh. Nice. We have any answer from Buffalo Pinball over there yet?
Let's see.
They would. Buffalo
Maybe
Pinball
in
is
the
over in
other chat.
Twitch.
Maybe in the other chat. Last I'd heard, they weren't planning on doing it, so unless that has changed.
Oh, nice nudging by Pete. Yeah, as far as I'm aware, and we're waiting to hear definitive word, as far as I'm aware, there will be no Buffalo Pinball Summer Open this year.
Unless something changed, there will not be.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you need something to do after Replay FX, there's a tournament in Canada at the Canadian National Exhibition several weeks later.
There's a Bad Religion concert after Pinburg on Sunday night, and then if you want to drive to Rochester, New York 2 days later, they're playing there as well. And then they're playing, I believe, in Columbus on the Saturday following Replay FX. And don't ask me how I know all of this.
When's Queen playing here?
Queen is playing on Wednesday, the day before Replay FX starts.
Yeah, so we found down here in Pittsburgh there are usually a lot of good concerts the week of Replay FX.
Or just
So-
other like activities
Yes.
that we would like to go and participate in that we cannot.
Well, you know, we can
Oh,
always
James, that's
exciting.
some great bonus you just collected.
Yeah, scored that wheel value on the out lane, and it was definitely worth it.
Excellent. Get Tia up again. Currently sitting in third within striking distance.
Yeah.
This is ball
Gotta make
5.
something happen.
That's ball something.
Yeah,
It
this is
is.
ball 5.
Okay.
Man.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
I meant bad. Not,
Robbed.
Was not nice.
And another thing, I don't know, I'm sure you guys mention it quite often on the thing, but you'll notice like Tia does it a lot and going up and testing the flippers, especially on these older games, because the power can be very different with the flipper power. So it's good to kind of go up and get an idea how strong your flippers are.
that's a really, really good point.
And even your left and right flipper can be totally different. Oh yeah, yeah. So that would kind of be the same thing when they go to flutter the flippers before. Oh, so Darkman says, what does fluttering the flippers on an EM achieve? I've heard this talked about in other broadcasts and have always been curious. Because I was kind of stating that you want to kind of be able to test the power of the flippers. These machines are very particular with power, especially if you have a lot of them on, or if the coils are weaker, things of that nature. So a lot of players will step up, get an idea of how much power each flipper has, if power differentiates from flipper to flipper, and kind of go from there.
Now, if you're fluttering the flippers in an attempt to save the ball, that's really useful because the motion of the two flippers, in contrast with each other, creates a slight wind breeze that will propel the ball back up onto the playfield 9 times out of 10, guaranteed.
I have learned something new today. I did not know that.
Pete just had a magnificent ball, currently sitting in first place.
I hear that works most well in Whirlwind.
Whirlwind is the exception to the rule. Whirlwind is the one time that fluttering the flippers will not create enough wind drag to propel the ball back onto the playfield.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you're right. There's something special about Whirlwind. It's just that it's not good.
But it gives you a nice breeze.
It does. Oh, man.
You know, I totally misinterpreted the question.
All right. It is currently Rob finally got taken down. We let him win all the way up to the last game.
I know.
Happy
Struggled on
birthday,
this
buddy.
game. Thank you very much.
But we're going to go into our final game. It's going to be James Manuel versus James Coons. It's going to be a great James v. James showdown here.
Uh-oh.
James Emmanuel, please make sure to start a two-player game.
I think we need a best of 3 on freedom.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how good our Jameses are.
Let's just say, keep in mind though,
It's 2 players. We're good.
James number 1 is more warmed up than James number 2.
Yeah, James Coons is going to come into this raw, like having not practiced, having no warm up, having sat behind a desk for 2 hours. It's going to be brutal, man. We're pulling for you. All right, so there's James Emmanuel.
Ooh,
Nice. that was a great
Nice
backhand.
backhand rip.
Wow.
I think, did I get 2 bonus awards there too? Because sometimes on these old EMs, like if the spinner is still spinning while it gets into that saucer,
You are correct. Nice. See how that wind drag makes all of the difference, guys? Oh,
I want the
I want the breeze
value.
over here, actually.
I think that's a different kind of breeze.
Okay, maybe I should not have challenged James to a game of
yeah, you
pinball
feeling
at
a
the
little,
end.
eating a little humble pie now? You feeling a little,
No, I'm good.
Intimidated.
yeah.
I'm good.
Let's see what you can do. Can you backhand that spinner?
Oh, look at
Oh,
that.
hey, he hit the dish.
Oh, I hit another one.
Also scores the wheel value.
Both dishes.
Yeah, this
Yes.
one over here does
Okay.
as well.
Ah.
Oh, he's just going to hit multiple spinners and show off James Emmanuel.
Oh, wow.
That's
Nice
that was
nudge.
nice.
You know, those are those nudges that you really need in these old EMs. Those are crucial.
So virtually everything that he hits is going to make that wheel go round.
Yeah. Anything that slings, bumpers.
Yep. The spinning wheel
And then
got to go round.
Does the spinners also?
Yes.
Okay.
Really good nudging going on by James.
Yeah, very nice.
It's got a
As you can see, he's hitting it almost as soon as it's hitting any top of the post or
It's got
anything.
some really good control going on. Right back into the saucer to collect that. So you can see his double bonus there is lit.
A lot of times, too, with the nudging, it'll take the English out of the ball, too,
Yes.
because the ball is spinning like a billiard ball. Nice shot. From the producer's chair to the big boy chair.
I know. He's just showing off now.
I know.
So what have you found is the best way to nudge an EM? Because I've seen it done both ways, where you tap the top and some people nudge it.
I mean, I've always just, been with that kind of palm on right on the crossbar area, and you seem to get away with a good bit. That's just been my technique. I mean, there's so many guys that have so many different ways, but like I said, I definitely have learned that it's a necessity. At first, it's almost a little bit embarrassing when I first started doing it, honestly, but you just have to know when to do it, and a lot of times the side of the cabinet's very important too. Good ball.
That was a
Great ball.
fantastic
Very
ball.
nice ball,
About to roll
James.
it.
Yeah, because I know some EMs are made specifically for nudging.
Yeah, absolutely.
We won't mention target pull.
Target polka.
And a lot
Yeah.
of times it's opposite of where it is in the cab. If the ball's on the left-hand side, a lot of times you'll be doing right-hand nudges and vice versa, and that's another thing to learn too.
That is something that I have extreme difficulty trying to learn. Like in all seriousness,
Yeah.
like I always want to hit the side that the ball is going on, and
Correct.
then I remember like, no, I gotta hit the other side, and
by then
I'm
it's
always
too
late.
late.
I'm always too late.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I automatically hit that side and go, oh, as the ball drains.
Okay. I want the spinners to 1,000.
Yeah, how do you get that to 1,000? So I was trying to light it
You have,
beforehand.
you have to hit the lights. You have to hit the scoop or the dish anytime it's on light spinner, and you have
Okay.
to do that twice.
Oh wow, I had it to the 100 before, but
Because you can control this really easily.
yeah,
Which thing
absolutely.
it's
Yeah,
gonna
it's
land
super
on.
simple. Nice.
Oh,
Giving James a chance.
yeah.
There's some good geometry around those pops.
He says that, but James, every time we come around and we're playing some Papa games, I end up getting way the worse end of it. Like, I like to think I'm pretty good at pinball, but, like, I don't know. It's just the James magic, like, doesn't work for me.
You have a jinx on James?
I have a
James
jinx. A James jinx.
James is jinxed. James. Try saying that 5
James
times
jinx
fast.
James. James jinx James. James jinx James.
Oh.
Nice. Okay,
Nice.
so now you've got some control.
Drop targets.
If you say it, I'll shoot it.
Drops.
Oh,
Did
that
you
was
shoot
a
in the
valiant
middle?
attempt.
I did. I really just
Like-
split the middle.
Hey, it was a valiant attempt.
It was. I mean, I think that was almost more skill.
Oh,
Nice.
very nice.
I tried again.
Oh.
Nice.
There's a spin. There's a drop target for you. All right.
I've only got one left.
What, the middle one?
Yep.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yay.
Yay.
We don't know what it did, but we wanted it.
Well, it,
Exactly.
it made something turn orange.
It did a thing, man.
did a
That's all
thing.
you need to know. It did a thing.
Yeah, there's an orange light now on the playfield in front of it.
That tells me I need to complete it again to get special when lit.
And what is the special when it's lit?
Nothing. It's Papa. Isn't the special usually nothing?
I mean, oh! That is a stucky, my
Well,
friends.
that's not very much freedom.
Wait, is James allowed to remove that stucky?
I need an adult.
Well, but since James Kuntz is playing the game, is he allowed?
I mean, this is casual.
So what's the rule for a stuck ball?
You would call a tournament director.
Well, in this case.
In
yes.
this case, okay. Stuck ball in a tournament, you would call a tournament director. They would put it on the flipper of the TD's choosing. In this case, James just put it on the closest flipper, which is fine. But this is casual play, and you can do whatever you want with it.
Right. However, this is an EM, so you would.
Special.
Should have put a power ball in.
I'm so special.
Oh. Putting power balls in games, controversial,
I
but
was-
fun.
I was going to ask. I was surprised there wasn't a power ball.
There's Powerball and Fairy,
Yes.
which
there
is another reason you should seek it out when you're at Replay FX.
Someone said these outlanes are devastating. Yes, they are devastating.
I haven't hit an outlane for a long time, and I don't know how.
Yeah. Well, see, the outlanes are also beneficial because the outlanes will give you your bonus.
Nice ball.
I didn't get the double though. Otherwise, I'd be
Yeah.
back in the game.
It was a nice ball. You're within striking distance.
Okay, I gotta play. Ooh, like a
Yeah,
punch
pay
for
attention.
light spinner. Why were you saying that wouldn't have been on the left flipper? On stuck ball? Stuck on a...
Oh, no, I said
Target.
it's the TD's discretion.
Oh.
I was also thinking.
I would have put it in the outlane then. Jeez.
You could have done that. That was an option.
Left outlane.
Yeah, someone in the chat had mentioned the power ball, like one from Twilight Zone. It's a white ceramic ball, and you will see that from time to time in some machines en route. I believe the ball's a little bit lighter,
It is.
and it is ceramic. Will not interact with any magnets that are in a game.
And can drastically change the flow and play of the
Yes,
game
very much
because
so.
it is lighter, because it is not,
Ooh.
metal.
So you're saying there's a chance?
And in Twilight Zone,
It's
don't
a great
forget
game of freedom.
that power ball
This
is
is-
supposed to be there.
This is a
Yes.
great game of freedom.
Yeah,
Yes.
I get upset when people take the Powerball out. I mean, just because it was designed with it and
People take the power ball out?
of Twilight
Oh,
all
James.
the time.
So, fun story from
It's a
Papa.
$30 ball
That's.
Fun story from Papa. I believe this was in C or D division, and no, C division.
It was C division.
Player traps up, calls for a tournament director. Doug and Mark go over, and the guy asks, "What is this white ball in Twilight Zone?" And the rule is like, I can just tell you that it's supposed to be there, and that's when you get the great. Well, this doesn't play anything like the one at my house. All I can tell you is the one at your house is set up wrong. I can't tell you what to do with that Powerball, I can just tell you it's supposed to be there. And the player was not happy with that answer,
I
but
nudged that out.
Did not
he
want that
has
ball there.
provided years of laughter to those of us that know the story. We've got one more ball. Oh. All right, James Manuel.
I'm going to do it. Catch up.
Nice. Good start.
Let's see if both of them can roll it.
Oh.
Oh, so close. Bounce, bounce. Nice. Oh,
Almost.
excellent.
Very nice.
Little luck on the insert
Up.
there.
There you go.
So those inlanes are feeding pretty nice. Oh, save.
That was a terrible flip. I got away with it, though.
There's the spinner. Oh.
Nice.
Oh,
So now he's
wow,
back
very
in the
nice.
shooter
There's a
lane.
Chance for his. What was the proper term for that up top? It wasn't a scoop, he said.
Dish.
It's a dish.
It's a dish.
A dish best served cold.
That's revenge, my dear.
Oh.
Nice spinner.
Mm-hmm.
Little early, little early.
Excellent. Oh, nice.
Nice.
I want to win. I don't know if
You're
it's
getting
obvious.
close, man.
I want to win.
Keep going.
I want to see you both turn.
Yeah, I wanna see it
Excellent.
rolled.
Yeah, you want to see it roll for sure. Trap that up, get that spinner.
Whew.
Big deep breath.
Take a breath.
Nope.
Oh.
Oh.
Nice.
Nice dig.
Nope.
Oh.
Double bonus for it, though.
Yeah.
Did that?
Let's count his bonus.
I think he's rolling it.
Yeah. So, folks, you'll notice this is what we call rolling an EM. The numbers have just reset back to 0, 6, 4, 8, and there's a big old noise that,
was
accompanies
the
it.
longest
Nice.
special sound I've ever heard.
Now, you want to pay attention when you're playing in a tournament and you have an EM like this. If you're getting close to rolling it, you want other people
Up there.
to watch. Make sure some machines will tell you that you have rolled to 1 million points. Some, or in this case, 100,000. Some will not.
So yeah, let one of your group know in the case.
Make sure that somebody else is watching.
Right. And if you're in a regular tournament and you have a scorekeeper, make them aware. Oh, nice.
Oh, nice nudge and right up to the spinner, and oh, James is gonna roll it too.
Yep.
Yep.
We're gonna have double James rolls.
Okay. And
Oh, look at that!
Wow.
and that would be a close score, friends.
90 points?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
What a game.
Wow.
Wow. That's fantastic.
Yeah,
that is a very close
amazing.
buzzer beater of a game. James versus James. James, it's Spy versus Spy, really, on Freedom. Only
Yes.
it's James versus James. We're going to go to our final ad real quick. PinballMIX. Have you ever thought what it would be like to have the best music possible in one of your pinball machines? Mark from PinballMIX will upgrade your machine with smooth cuts, tight loops, and balanced levels. He does this with music that you get to choose. There are plenty of mods that enhance what you see on a pinball machine. PinballMIX can enhance what you hear. What others are saying. Ben from Midland, Texas says he does a professional job and loops things to perfection. Kevin from Buffalo Pinball says, love the mix that PinballMIX did for me. It's a great way to breathe some new life into your favorite games. Paul from Pinside says, I found this the best bang for buck mod I could personally add to a game that I love. And Neil from the UK says, it's freaking epic. Love it, love it. Go to pinballmix.com to see videos of Mark's work, or just email Mark directly at pinballmix@gmail.com for more info. What machine would you like to upgrade? And for this 4th of July week, that's going to be us. That's going to be it for us here from Papa. I'm Elizabeth Cromwell.
Virginia Hendricks.
Jeff Newport.
And we're wishing you all a happy and safe 4th of July. Have a good night.
Thanks for joining us.